Archangel Michael says, the air around you is shifting in a way they never believed it would, and what is unfolding now carries a weight no one can escape. The moment you're stepping into is wrapped in a suspense so thick it feels like the world is holding its breath just to witness what comes next. There is an unseen movement pushing behind your life, a force guiding you into a breakthrough that will expose every hidden intention around you. From the very beginning, they thought their actions would stay buried, unnoticed, untouched by consequence. They moved in shadows, believing the darkness protected them, believing nothing would ever trace back to their hands. But the hour has changed, and the cost of what they did is finally rising to the surface with unstoppable momentum. The night before this shift started, something stirred in the spiritual atmosphere around you, something that signaled the end of what they thought was untouchable. Archangel Michael says, the truth that has been waiting is now stepping into the open. You might not see every detail yet, but you can feel the tremble of justice moving closer, pulling threads together that will reveal everything. Their silence will not save them now. You are walking through a story where every moment builds pressure like a storm preparing to break over the horizon. The energy surrounding you is changing, sweeping away old manipulations and calling forward the reality that was hidden from you. Even the ground beneath their choices is beginning to crack, and the weight of their own actions is beginning to turn against them. Amen. 333. The shift begins quietly, moving like a slow tide at first, lifting pieces into place one by one until the full picture becomes impossible to ignore. You're being positioned in a way that places you above their attempts, above their schemes, above the lies they believed would hold you down. Their confidence is about to shatter, not because you retaliated, but because truth always returns stronger than anything built on deception. There's a force surrounding you now, one that protects, guides, and magnifies your strength even when the world tries to shake you. In the hidden corners where they whispered, laughed, judged, or plotted, a reversal is unfolding that they never saw coming. And the moment this reversal hits, everything they thought they controlled will slip through their hands faster than they can grasp it. Your spirit is rising, slowly, steadily, in a way they underestimated from the very beginning. They imagined you would break, or bend, or fall apart under the weight of what they did. But you didn't. Archangel Michael says, your resilience has unlocked a consequence they cannot outrun. Every step you take forward releases something powerful, something they tried to block but couldn't stop. The truth has started echoing through places they never expected it to reach. It travels through conversations, through intuition, through sudden clarity that pierces illusions and reveals the reality behind every smile, every action, every silent motive. And once truth begins to echo, it doesn't stop, it only grows louder, sharper, more undeniable. The turning point is approaching with such precision that even time seems to slow around it. Everything they did in the dark is leaving a trail they can no longer cover, and every trail is leading straight to the moment where consequences step forward. You don't have to force this justice. It's already in motion, already unfolding, already circling back to them. As the energy shifts, people begin to see what they ignored before. Eyes are opening. Minds are noticing details they brushed off. Patterns they overlooked are becoming clear. And the same people who once doubted your strength are beginning to recognize how deeply you were wronged. That recognition alone begins the unraveling of everything they built on lies. There is a strange calm rising inside you, even with everything happening around you. It's the calm that comes when the storm isn't your burden to carry, because you're not the one being exposed, they are. The truth is not attacking you, it is defending you. It is wrapping around you like a shield, ensuring nothing that was meant to harm you can stand much longer. The moment their mask slips will be sudden, not subtle, not soft, not quiet, but sudden, loud, and impossible for them to rebuild after it breaks. Archangel Michael says, their downfall begins the moment your breakthrough arrives. They believed they were safe from outcomes, but they never expected timing to shift so sharply against them. The atmosphere around your life is building pressure like a story reaching its final, dramatic turn. People who doubted you will be silent when the truth surfaces. People who dismissed your pain will suddenly understand how much you endured. People who supported them blindly will rethink everything. This shift won't be small, it will be the kind that changes relationships, perceptions, and realities. You are walking into a chapter where every hidden motive will be exposed in ways no one can deny. The same energy that was used against you is now collapsing back onto the ones who created it. They set a trap, but they're the ones stepping into it. They started the fire, but they're the ones standing closest to its burn. And nothing they do now can stop the chain reaction they triggered. Archangel Michael says, stand firm, because justice is not just coming, it has arrived. And when justice arrives, it does not come empty. It brings revelation, clarity, protection, elevation, and a release so strong it breaks every chain they tried to wrap around your life. Their plans crumble the moment your purpose rises. You're stepping into a moment where your strength becomes undeniable, where your peace becomes unshakable, and where your destiny begins to move in ways they never believed possible. Everything they tried to take from you will return multiplied. Everything they tried to block will flow to you with ease. Everything they tried to ruin will rebuild stronger than ever. Amen. 444. The momentum around your life is shifting in a way that cannot be reversed now, and everything they tried to bury is rising with a force they cannot silence. The weight of the truth is pushing through every barrier they created, breaking open what they believed would stay hidden forever. Their confidence is draining as the reality of their own actions begins tightening around them like an unmovable circle closing in. You are entering a chapter where your presence alone becomes a reminder of the strength they underestimated, the courage they ignored, and the resilience they thought they had destroyed. Every moment forward exposes another layer of what they tried to hide, making it impossible for them to escape the consequences waiting for them. Nothing remains protected when truth begins its march. There is an energy around you now that feels like a rising fire, not destructive toward your spirit but transformative in its purpose to elevate you beyond everything they tried to limit. Their whispers lose power with every step you take, their worries grow as the tide moves in your favor, and their grip on the illusion they built is slipping completely out of their hands. The shift they never expected is now the shift they fear most. Archangel Michael says the path ahead is clearing because the truth has decided to fight for you, and once truth becomes your shield, no force can bury your destiny again. Their time of pretending, of manipulating, of controlling the narrative is dissolving beneath the pressure of revelation. You are rising in silence, but the sound of their downfall grows louder with every moment. Amen. 555. The transformation unfolding around you is unstoppable, and nothing they attempt can hold back the force that has already chosen your elevation. Even the spaces they once used to diminish your worth are now turning against their intentions, exposing the motives they tried to disguise under false confidence. The shift is too massive for them to outrun. As the truth pulls itself upward, the entire foundation of their actions begins to crumble, revealing every fracture they hoped no one would notice. The same hands that tried to restrict your path are now trembling under the weight of the consequences they never prepared for. Their certainty has turned into fear. Their plans collapse piece by piece, not because you retaliated but because universal justice responds when someone tries to harm what was meant to flourish. Archangel Michael says your rise is protected by a force that recognizes every silent tear, every hidden struggle, and every wound you carried without a voice. Now those moments are turning into power. Amen. 666. Another wave of truth is preparing to surface, one that will expose the deeper intentions behind everything they did, leaving no room for misunderstanding. Their comfort is slipping, their arrogance is fading, and the walls they used to shield themselves from accountability are cracking open with every passing hour. You are stepping into a moment they cannot manipulate. Even the people who once believed their version of events are beginning to sense something changing, something shifting behind the scenes that makes them reconsider every detail they accepted before. Their loyalty is drifting away from the lies and moving toward the truth that is slowly becoming undeniable. Eyes are opening, and awareness is rising. Their influence is weakening because truth has a way of pulling its own supporters even when no words are spoken. The energy they relied on to maintain control is drying out, leaving them exposed and unsupported by the illusions they used to lean on. What once gave them power is now slipping from their grasp entirely. This unfolding moment holds the weight of destiny, pushing you into a higher position while removing those who attempted to interfere with your path. Nothing they do now can stop the shift that has already been activated, and the consequences moving toward them are unstoppable. Their downfall is tied to the truth they tried to bury inside silence. Amen. 777. Your spirit is stepping into a level of strength they were never prepared to witness, and this strength is what breaks the remaining chains they hoped would hold you. The energy around you is thick with transformation, drawing every hidden truth into the open with precise timing. The world around them is growing noisier with the echoes of exposure. They are beginning to understand that the silence they relied on has turned into a storm that pushes against their every attempt to hide. Their confidence is shaking because the truth they ignored is now the truth they must face. The weight of reality is pressing into them from every direction. You are walking into a future that shines brighter than anything they imagined you could reach, and that brightness alone reveals everything they tried to dim. They thought you would remain in the shadows they placed around you, never expecting the light to burst through with such unstoppable force. Now that light exposes both your strength and their mistakes. Archangel Michael says your elevation is a result of endurance that cannot be shaken, and now every barrier they created is turning into proof of how far you have come. Nothing they set against you can survive the movement of destiny unfolding around your life. Their plans are dissolving under the pressure of universal justice. Amen. 888. The reality they constructed is shattering, piece by piece, as the truth becomes stronger than the narratives they built on lies. Every attempt they make to regain control slips away faster than they can react, leaving them grasping for stability that no longer exists. Their own actions have written the ending they never wanted. You are entering a phase where every step reveals just how protected you truly were the entire time, and that revelation alone is turning the entire situation in your favor. The power that was hidden inside you is rising with a force they cannot overpower. Their fear grows with every movement of your spirit. Even the energy they once used to appear strong is collapsing because the truth strips away all illusions. The people around them are beginning to notice inconsistencies, behaviors, and intentions that were always there but ignored. Now those details cannot be overlooked. Their world is tightening, shrinking, and pulling them toward the consequences they never prepared to face. Meanwhile, your world is expanding, strengthening, and guiding you toward breakthroughs that were waiting for the right moment to arrive. The shift is complete, and the transformation has begun in full force. Amen. 999. You are stepping into clarity that exposes the entire storyline from beginning to end, making everything they did visible without needing explanation. The silence around you has turned into wisdom, and the wisdom has turned into elevation. Their whispers no longer matter. Your rise is happening in a way they never expected, and this rise is what triggers the unraveling of every illusion they relied on. Every truth that surfaces pulls another thread from the fabric of their deception, leaving them unable to repair the damage. Their story is collapsing under its own weight. There is a deep calm surrounding you now, not because the situation is easy but because your spirit recognizes that the shift is already in your favor. The pressure you once felt has transformed into strength, grounding you as the truth continues to rise. Nothing they attempt can interfere with what is unfolding. Archangel Michael says your path is aligned with a destiny they cannot hinder, and this destiny is pulling you forward with momentum that lifts you far beyond their reach. They never expected this ending, and now they must face the consequences of every choice that led them here. Their time of pretending has expired. Amen. 111. The more the truth reveals itself, the more their world shakes under the pressure of exposure. Their confidence fades as everything they hid begins to surface in ways they cannot control or silence. What once protected them has become the force that brings their facade crashing down. You remain standing in strength, moving through each moment with clarity, purpose, and unshakable resilience. There is power in the way you rise now, and that power is reshaping everything around you. They feel the shift, and it terrifies them. Their attempts to regain control only speed up the collapse because every action they take exposes another piece of the truth they tried to hide. The illusion is gone, the protection is gone, and the lies are unraveling with unstoppable force. Nothing can save their false narrative anymore. The truth has become louder than their excuses, stronger than their ego, and more powerful than anything they used to manipulate the situation. Your strength is undeniable, and the justice unfolding around you is unstoppable. Their downfall is the cost of their own choices. Amen. 222. The air around your story is shifting again, deeper and more intense than before, pulling every hidden truth into the open with a force that cannot be resisted. Every moment reveals another layer of what they tried to disguise, and their fear grows as their actions finally return to them without mercy. Nothing about this unfolding is gentle because their choices were never gentle toward you. You are stepping into a level of revelation that clears away every shadow they hoped to hide behind, leaving only the truth standing in the center of everything they built. The mask they wore is cracking, splitting at its edges, unable to hold under the weight of exposure. Their confidence is collapsing, and they cannot stop the unraveling rising against them. The energy of your life is shifting upward, lifting you above the narratives they used to keep you contained, and that elevation is revealing every detail they hoped would remain unseen. Their silence has become evidence, their choices have become consequences, and their actions have become undeniable truths. You are rising in a way they never imagined you could. The movement surrounding you grows stronger with each passing hour, carrying you into a chapter where your strength stands taller than every wound they left behind. You hold a power now that continues to rise, shaping your future while reshaping their reality. Their downfall is becoming clearer with every moment of your rise. Amen. 333. Their intentions can no longer hide inside shadows because the truth has grown too bright to ignore, illuminating every corner where they once moved freely. The very ground beneath them is shaking under the weight of accountability, a force they cannot outrun or silence anymore. Everything is returning to balance, piece by piece. You are being lifted into a position where clarity surrounds you, revealing the path ahead with unmistakable direction while exposing the motives of those who tried to block your journey. Their actions echo back toward them now, louder and more unavoidable than ever before. This is the cost of what they tried to do. The narrative is shifting fully in your favor, turning your past pain into present power and future elevation. Their expectations crumble because they never imagined the ending would fall so heavily against them. Their story is changing, but it is not changing in their favor. Archangel Michael says the truth is marching with purpose, carrying justice into every corner of the situation, and nothing can stop what has already begun. Your breakthrough is creating a ripple effect that reaches far beyond your immediate world, touching every person involved in your story. Their secrets are no longer safe. Amen. 444. A tidal wave of revelation is rising behind you, pushing your story into a place where nothing remains hidden, nothing remains twisted, and nothing remains in the hands of those who worked against you. They underestimated the reach of truth, and now they face the return of everything they put into the world. Their confidence cannot save them now. You are entering a phase of life where your strength becomes a natural force, unfolding effortlessly while every hidden motive around you becomes visible. Nothing they attempt can stop the progression of justice that has been activated. Their control is slipping like sand through fingers. Even the people who once supported them are beginning to distance themselves because the truth changes the atmosphere, reshaping loyalties, perceptions, and beliefs. Eyes are opening, minds are waking, and clarity is spreading through the hearts of those who once overlooked the signs. The shift is too strong to deny. Your rise brings exposure to everything they tried to suppress because your elevation is tied to truth, and truth brings everything into the light. Their storyline collapses under its own contradictions, leaving them with nothing but the consequences they created. They never believed it would reach this point. Amen. 555. The momentum behind your story is gathering more strength, building into a force that pushes you forward with undeniable certainty. Each step you take now carries the presence of destiny, guiding you toward what was meant for you from the beginning. Their interference can no longer hold you down. Their attempts to manipulate the outcome have turned against them, becoming the very reasons their downfall is unfolding. Every effort they used to block your path has returned to them multiplied, demanding accountability they never prepared for. Their arrogance dissolves under the weight of truth. The spotlight they avoided is now shining directly upon them, revealing the intentions and patterns they tried to hide behind false composure. Nothing remains concealed when justice begins to move with purpose. Their masks are falling with no chance of being rebuilt. Archangel Michael says your path is opening wider because your spirit has carried a strength that cannot be denied, and now the world around you must adjust to your rise. This rise is powerful, unstoppable, and fully aligned with your destiny. Nothing they set against you can survive this elevation. Amen. 666. The energy surrounding your breakthrough is becoming undeniable, moving like a powerful current that sweeps away every obstacle placed before you. Their intentions become clearer with every shift, exposing the truth of who they were behind closed doors. The facade they wore begins to crumble completely. You are stepping into clarity that sharpens your awareness, empowering you to see the situation from a higher perspective where nothing can mislead you anymore. Your strength has matured into a force they can no longer influence. Their control is fully broken. Every piece of the puzzle they tried to scatter is returning to its rightful place, forming a complete picture that reveals their true motives. The truth refuses to be silenced now that it has begun rising. Everything is aligning against their expectations. Their world narrows as yours expands, showing them the consequences of what they created with their own hands. Their intentions, once hidden, are now becoming the very reasons others turn away from them. The shift is irreversible. Amen. 777. You are moving into a chapter where your resilience stands taller than every wound and every betrayal, marking you as someone who cannot be defeated by the very people who expected your downfall. Your presence now carries a weight that their actions can no longer overshadow. Their fear grows with every moment of your rise. The force surrounding your journey strengthens your steps, guiding you into the position they believed you would never reach. Their shock becomes visible as they recognize how unstoppable your destiny has become. The tables have turned completely. Your rise is rewriting the story, placing you in the center while their narratives fade into insignificance. Their role in your life diminishes as your purpose grows stronger. Every part of your journey is lifting you. Archangel Michael says your breakthrough is the beginning of a greater unfolding, a powerful transition that transforms everything they set against you into stepping stones for your success. Their downfall becomes the foundation of your elevation. Nothing can reverse it now. Amen. 888. Their resistance weakens under the pressure of truth, leaving them without the strength to maintain the facade they presented to the world. Their actions return with a force that strips away every excuse they once held. Nothing remains to protect them from what is coming. You continue to rise in silence, displaying a strength that infuriates them because your resilience reflects everything they failed to break. Your spirit moves with purpose, driven by a force greater than their intentions. They cannot stop what has already been activated. Even the places where they once spoke confidently now turn into echoes of their own downfall as the truth spreads through the hearts of those who once believed them. Support disappears, leaving them exposed and vulnerable. Their time of power is over. Your story shifts into clarity as every moment brings you closer to the destiny that was meant for you from the beginning. Their downfall deepens with every step you take forward because your rise reveals their truth. Nothing can reverse what has begun. Amen. 999.